when you do things in order, you will be rewarded. Okay? So now let's go ahead and take a look on what you can do to avoid yourself from fornication. Okay? So let's go into 1 Corinthians chapter 7, and we're going to be reading verses 8 through 9. Okay? I say, therefore, to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. Okay, so, some women, they got the Lord in their life. They good. They feel like, I don't need a mate. That's fine. You giving your time undivided attention to the Lord, and you serving Him, and you doing what you're supposed to do. If that's your path in life, so be it. However, for the sisters that desire to have a man, which there is nothing wrong with that, you must, to avoid fornication, you must marry. Okay, there's no other way I can break that down for you. And so, you may think, and I know a lot of times now, a lot of women, you get into your career and the way the world sees things. I'm a career woman. I really don't have time for this right now. It's okay to have a man, to take care of my sexual needs, but I really don't want the other stuff. Or a lot of times you get some of us women that find themselves, jumping from bed to bed. Then you have all this heartbreak, and you have broken hearts, so you're bitter and you're cold, and I don't trust men, and all this and so on and so forth. Okay, well, you have to remember that you are in control of that as well. So if you're getting your heart broke and all of these different things, these emotional changes that you go through, you got to remember, you got to think to yourself, now why am I going through this? Because you're not following what God has set before you. That's why. Okay, and I want to read this real quick to you too. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 31, and we're going to be reading verse 10. Because it's very important for, us to understand as women what we up against. And again, that's Proverbs 31, and that's going to be verse 10. And it says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. So, you out there hunting for this man, but a lot of times if you sleeping around and doing all these things, 9 times out of 10, when he decides to find him a wife, it ain't going to be you. Because he's going to be looking for that virtuous woman. He's going to be looking for that woman, like if he had a good upbringing or a good mother or something, he's going to be looking for a woman like that. And even if he didn't, a lot of times, if he didn't have a mother as an example, a mother that's a woman, trying to do the right things as an example, he's still going to look for that woman. So you're going to be finding yourself, in a lot of situations to where you may end up seeing them move on with somebody else, and that may hit you even be more heartbroken from that. So just remember that, and just remember that marriage is a beautiful thing. It really is. So if you want all the beauty of marriage, living as one, touching, all the things we've been talking about, remember to protect yourself. Be married. Go ahead and get married. There's nothing wrong with that. And even though the world tell you, don't do it. Oh, the old ball and chain, and all these things that's very negative. But that's totally against what the scriptures say. It's beautiful to be married. It's beautiful. Just pray about it. Okay, now I want to talk to my sisters that are married. Because a lot of times, we marry, we get the husband, and then we start the little quarrels and the gripes and the complaints, and we start telling, oh, I'm so mad at him, this, so on and so forth, he ain't bringing in enough money, just a lot of gripes and complaints. And so then you start wanting to set yourself and say, oh, well, you know what, if he can't get it together, we ain't sleeping in the same bed, and he ain't touching me. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. We're going to go back to Corinthians again. And we're going to be reading in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. And we're going to be reading verses 3 through 5. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for incontinency. Sorry about that. Keep butchering that word. Well, we all know, as married couples and married families, Satan is the author of confusion, and he wants to destroy marriages because it's a beautiful thing to be married. So, a lot of times when things ain't going right, a lot of times, we wanna run in that shell. Some married women, and you want to run into that shell, and you want to say, oh, I don't feel good, I don't want to, and just because of minor things in a marriage, but you got to work it out. You can't do like the world they do and be quick to run, and